ABML stock, American Battery Technology Company. So for the session of the 1st of February 2021, it closed at $1.02, a gain of 22.91%. So 5.3 million shares crossed the tape, which is regarded as above average. And just at the close of that session, the price rose or closed above the 50-day moving average, and it says their price rose through the 50-day moving average of $1.01 on above average volume. This is the first time it is closing above its 50-day moving average since the 12th of November 2021. So that's almost very close to 2 months since it ever did that. So, and in that session, in this session of the 1st of February, it was pretty much bullish. At various times it fell close to its 50-day moving average, and about an hour before the session closed, it was below the 200-day moving average. Let's look at that 1-day chart and see before we will return to this 1-year chart. This is the chart that of this session of the 1st of February. It's coming up. Yes, you see, just in the last hour of the session, you can see it fell below the 200-day moving average of this 1-day chart. Yeah, and then found support at $0.95 and then began to extend. So we don't exactly know if it's going to support this gain, because there is a pattern that this stock has. There's a pattern that has played out a lot of times in the last 52 weeks, so it is that ABML stock, it has closed within one standard deviation of its 50-day moving average. This is the 50-day moving average. This one, this line, this curve is the 50-day moving average. It has been a source of resistance for a very long time, going all the way back to early July. It has been a stiff resistance for the stock. At various times it surpasses it, but never really has been a challenge for the stock. So it has closed within one standard deviation of this 50-day moving average 14 times over the last 52 weeks, over the last 1 year, and then 12 times out of those 14 occasions it has closed lower in the subsequent session. You understand? So some of those dates includes the obvious ones, like 9th of July, I think. 9th of July. Let me see. That's the one. No. Okay, yeah. 9th of July. This is the 9th of July. So, and then the 14th of October. These are some of the obvious ones, and then also the 12th of November. So, but there were obviously, as I indicated, there were exceptions. The exceptions were the 23rd of September and 11th of November. So this is the 11th of November, I think. This is 11th of November, is it? Yes, this is the 11th of November, possibly, I think. But there were two exceptions there when the reverse wasn't the case. But even at that, yes, the reverse wasn't really the case, was it? Yeah, okay. This November 11th of November wasn't the case. In the subsequent session it went slightly higher, and then the other one was the 23rd of September. 23rd of September. Can we get that? Yeah, that's it. 23rd of September. It closed just within one standard deviation, but it did not. It still went further up in the subsequent session. So there are two exceptions to that case. So would it be the case that it's going to retrace in the subsequent session? Well, what we know for sure, amongst other things, is that the news concerning the stock is that what is it called? Their CEO Ryan Melsat was invited to speak at the Bloomberg New Energy Financial Summit or Finance Summit on the 31st. That is yesterday, the 31st of January. Okay, and On the 13th, we got the news that the company delivers its first to no power flat lithium samples for analysis and all that stuff. So you already know all of these things, So moving on, we can see what's going on with the stock. Momentum accumulation distribution is just trying to improve, but the trend is a very bearish one. RSI is showing some strength. Momentum is also showing some strength as well on this 1-year chart. Okay, and I think the unbalanced volume indicator might I think maybe looking up. I think we'll find out what it's saying down there. It says it appears to be rallying within a longer term bearish trend. Okay, yes, that is the case. It has been bearish since the underlying trend of the stock has been bearish since November, I think, or at least late October, to say the least. It has now ticked over. At least in the last quarter of 2021, that's when it became a bearish. So it appears to be rallying within a longer term bearish trend. Obviously closed at close to 22% upwards. So it's driving and has been driving its MACD above the signal line. However, the shares remain below a declining 200-day moving average. That is the truth. It's below a declining 200-day moving average. Let's see. So the 200-day moving average is at $1.48. So it is trading at a discount to that moving day average, and just slightly above its 50-day moving average at 1.1 or thereabout. Yeah, it's the 50-day moving average is at $1. Yes, and but also ahead of the other moving averages, the 10 and the 50-day moving averages. The 10-day moving average is at 0.76. The 20-day moving average is at 0.85. So it's however, the shares remain below a declining 200-day moving average, signifying that the dominant trend remains lower. It's lagging the S&P 500. Momentum for ABML stock is strongly bullish. Okay, as we saw earlier on. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay higher prices for shares of ABML stock. So it's strongly bullish, evidently, yes. So investors are paying high prices, and today's volume was heavier than usual, trading 5.337 million shares versus an average of 3.63 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bearish. The slope of the indicator is negative and suggests that there is a lack of buying interest. So, okay, there is a lack of buying interest, but they are also paying high prices for the shares of ABML stocks. It's a mix of things, It's a mix of things. So, amongst some of the criticisms we have been able to find out, it is that according to the folks at Seeking Alpha, they're saying that they don't see how ABML stock. You definitely must have come across that piece, written on a Seeking Alpha, and that's this one. So let's get it again. They want us to. That's this piece. So you can always find it on Google. So amongst the many things that the author of that piece was saying is that they don't see how ABML will compete with lithium cycle. So, well, and they have not seen any contracts yet. Those are the two things there. Well, as it concerns competing, they may not be able to, even if assuming they won't, they may not be able, assuming they don't succeed in competing with lithium cycle, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't find anything to do at all. They have lithium sites already. I know it's they need to find they need to get contracts. These things they can't just, they're not exactly, they have to be sold to contractors. To people, to OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. So those are valid criticisms. So well, it's a criticism, but they will probably find a way to keep striving and find a way out of it. Lithium cycle is only, if assuming lithium cycle is the biggest rival, the biggest competitor. I mean, there are things they can always do, improve on the technology, or if they can't succeed in doing so, maybe they sell out to lithium cycle. Or they just go ahead and find a way of selling the lithium raw materials. It's the raw lithium compounds. So there has to be something they can do out there. They have to just keep looking for ways out around it. And they are obviously as well. You also know they are also building their plant according to them themselves. According to the I mean, you know that very well. The company raised $43 million through a shares issue in the last quarter, and it's now building its pilot lithium-ion battery recycling plant in Nevada. So yeah, fingers crossed. We're still maintaining our price target range of between $1.1 to $1.47, and we're also maintaining that it can also drop to $0.64. So 0.64 is somewhere here. Yeah, 0.64, somewhere just slightly above there. So our target range remains between 1.1 and 1.47. So it hasn't come into that range yet. Okay, so it closed the session of the 1st of February at $1.02. Buyers are paying high prices for the stock, but based on how things have proceeded before, they are not as aggressive as they were before. So okay, we'll continue to update you as it concerns a BML stock, and thank you very much for watching this video.